Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Go Get That
Go
podcast.
get.
Beautiful intro, episode 133. We have made it to the season finales, I suppose. The three most important events on the schedule, starting with the St. Jude Invitational. Somehow,
The
Mr.
season.
Somehow Mr. Jordan Spieth is in the field this week. Buoyed by the solo third way back many, many moons ago in January. But Bob and I are here. We're going to chat it up, talk a little playoffs and a little Spieth probably, and probably some other stuff as well. But good to see you. It's been a couple weeks. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. Back in Arizona, so Pacific time. It's bright outside. This is probably not a very flattering angle of me, but my
I
hand
think
would get
all
tired if I tried to hold it on. But yeah, no, a technological disaster in my household. Last week I wasn't able to because I was driving cross country from Massachusetts to Arizona, so that was something. And now we're here, but having a bad product. But yeah, we're here. I didn't get to watch much Wyndham, but that's okay. I didn't miss much.
no, there
And
wasn't
here's
much
here's
to see.
here's my take. Here's my take on the Jordan Spieth season. I'm usually someone who would watch rounds even if he was out of contention and stuff like that. But Jordan Spieth has tossed this year into the rearview mirror already, so I'm not gonna be that upset missing the rounds when he's not. When he's sort of counted himself out of it, it seems like he's mentally on to surgery, which is good to hear. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, we're still not 100% sure kind of what that off-season procedure might look like, whether or not it's
not
actually
at all.
surgery. I think
I'd say the surgery is 99.9% chance. What
that
type of
seems to
surgery
be
is,
the
I don't know.
likely outcome.
Yes, but who knows? Yeah, I think I'm laughing at the blue shirt in the background.
You know, it's the Dolphins season up and coming. We're recording this right
Yep.
after Pats traded Jude on to Atlanta, and I bet $10 on them winning 6 games. Don't see that happening anymore. Maybe the number one pick next year.
I
Um,
mean, congrats to the Pats because the end Pats will definitely be playing for something at the end of the season.
yes,
Their
that's
last
true.
game of the season, they have a better chance of having their wanted outcome than the Dolphins do. So,
That's well said. I appreciate
um,
the outlook there.
yes,
Um,
congrats. So congrats to you and the fan base and all Pats fans listening.
yeah, yeah. No, I think to all our Pats fans out there, we'll be back. We'll be back. I
Yeah,
got faith.
for
Um,
sure.
for all the Spieth fans listening, we'll also be back, just not until January. Uh, this season's been a mess. He actually hit the ball pretty well last week and could not chip or putt. Have heard that story before this season. Um, I don't know what to make of it. Very kind of similar setup this week. It's going to be hot, humid. Course is going to be soft. I don't expect too much different. But he gets a paycheck this week, so Mr. Greller can pay his rent or his mortgage or whatever it might be at this point. Um, Hopefully it's enough to cover utilities. We'll see. He needs to get inside the top 50 in the FedEx Cup to make it to next week. Do you have a guess set to what finish he needs? Have you seen?
I think he needs a T12.
At the very worst, he needs to finish
T17.
solo 17th.
Oh, solo 17.
That's at
Yeah,
the
I,
very
I think
worst.
I think just given how highs go, we'll probably need T12
Yeah.
probably.
I think
Um,
T12 is safest. Top 10 should get the job done,
yeah, I mean,
but we haven't had one of those in 4 months, so I wouldn't be betting
yeah, I
on
mean,
it.
I'm looking for a 10 to 12 finish. I've ruled out a top 10 actually.
Okay.
This week. Um, I did tweet and make it known that I do not think he'll be defending his first round lead like last year. Hot take, but that is
Yeah,
my
it's
take.
forgot about that
Um,
last year.
yep, but it was a very forgettable lead actually. I had to go back and watch the highlights, but
Yeah. It's a whole lot of elite short game.
mhm. But again, as I said, I feel this almost what's a good comparison? This feels like season garbage time for Spieth. Um, it feels like it's
Garbage time.
it feels like it's 33-17 and with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and there's really no shot, but mathematically there's a shot. It feels like one
Yeah.
of those situations. Um again, I it's tough because as a fan, as a huge fan, and I try and tell people this who continue to let themselves get disappointed every week because I have not been disappointed by a round of besides the Open because obviously I got myself into that, forced myself into that,
Hmm.
but I really haven't been let down by Spieth round since the U.S. Open purely because his main goal every week is to limit the damage with the wrist as much as possible, and that is priority number one. Whether that means he's going to get a swing into a spot that's good enough to win or not. So, you know, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. That's that's what him and his team have decided is the best path for his career. But again, I'm not gonna act like he's going out there with his best possible swing every week when his main priority is just to keep it safe. So again, I it's a mindset that I understand, but as a fan, it's a little frustrating because you know you want the guy to win.
Yeah.
So I've been saying this. I would have rather him just not played after the U.S. Open and got the surgery and been ready to go because these last few weeks have been very forgettable. So yeah,
Yeah. It is interesting kind of looking at some of his numbers here. He's gained on approach now in 5 of 6 off the tee in 5 of 6, but the short game, well, he hasn't gained with the putter in 3 straight. And the short game, he gained he was it was his normal level of short game for his career at the Open and the Scottish. Gained both a stroke around there. But in the last, since the Memorial, he's lost in 4 out of 7. And if you take out the Open and the Scottish, which were different types of grass overseas, that's 4 out of 5, and it's been pretty ugly at times around the greens. Um, Not to say that he's absolutely flushing it with the irons, but it is positive enough that you would think decent scores could be shot. But again, when he gets closer to the hole, he has been worse. Um, so certainly, I don't expect much of that to change other than he said it's easier to chip around Southwind than Sedgefield. Uh, so we'll see what, you know, how much that actually means in reality. But uh, he's somehow featured on ESPN Plus. So if you do want to watch the rounds and watch Mark Hubbard play as well, you can do that uh, Thursday afternoon, Friday morning.
yeah.
Um, so
Thanks for that.
it's
Too
it's
bad.
it's it's an interesting season. I think you put it pretty well actually. Like there's a sense of I'm not trying to hurt this anymore. And it feels like progress doesn't really matter because it's not building long term. It's more somehow get me into the top 50 and, then let the building and the healing of the wrist start and the rebuilding of the swing.
Well, there is something to be said about um the top 50 is a nice bonus because
Yeah.
you won't need sponsors exemptions into the signature events next year. But again, I don't really care because he's gonna get them anyway. I'd sign up for anything as long as he's okay to play next year, feeling 100%, and that's really the goal. He won't be playing Century, obviously.
Well, if he makes top
So
50, he does.
really,
Yeah, the
I thought
Century is
that was
top
Tour
50.
Championship. Hmm.
Okay, maybe not. Were there 30 guys in the field this year? I thought there were
No,
more.
it's I
Oh,
think
winners
it's
plus tour
top 30
championship.
plus winners.
Okay, you're correct.
So it was like 40 something. Yeah.
Okay, you might be right
Um,
then.
which stinks. I do think that the Century should still just be the Tournament of Champions, but there we are.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
the PGA Tour just released their schedule as well for next year. It's the same damn schedule, the same signature events. And I understand that they don't really want to bring like a signature event to Detroit or Minnesota. And, they don't want to move some of these events around, but I feel like, so I think it might have been shoot, I don't want to get it wrong, so I won't give credit where credit isn't deserved. But somebody on Twitter said that there's another season. It might have been our boy Andy Lack actually saying that there hasn't been an event in Philly, Boston, or New York. I think there's one other city that he mentioned, and it's like we're not going to do that again. Like those cities are awesome. They have some great golf courses, and we're I understand the ties to Memphis, but it's kind of like, why does the schedule have to be so stagnant? Why can't we mix up these events and give places like Craig Ranch the shine that they deserve? Um, and so it's
thanks.
taking that kind of piece of comedy out of it. Like, I don't know, the schedule's boring next year. It's the same thing, copy paste, and who knows? Like, I don't think we see Spieth until Pebble, barring a triumph this week.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that, and I think that that's even generous. I think it's possible we don't see Jordan Spieth till post February, believe it or not.
Wow.
Um,
I
I
mean,
think that
how?
if
Yeah.
who knows what the surgery's like. I mean, it's not just a surgery. After that, you will have not swung a golf club in a while, and I don't see. Well, actually, Spieth would be the one to not have swung a club for 6 months and then just go play a tournament. But um, uh, yeah, I mean, there's just gonna have to be a lot of prep. It'll be a complete reset for him. So I don't know. I think that it's possible we don't see him till March.
Uh, yeah, I think that's legit. And again, this is all banking on like who knows what's next.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't think I think his entire thing will be what is the best way to get me ready for the Masters. And if
yeah,
that's returning at the Valspar and
then
play
it's return at the
Valero, and
Valspar. Yeah,
I think that's just what it is.
yeah,
But we will do a season recap when the season's over, and we'll talk about this more. I guess that's kind of, but I mean, yeah, this is a course that Spieth historically has played well at. So who knows?
yeah.
Um,
Hey, that T11 could be right around the corner. Only
yeah,
70
T11
guys
or
in the
T12.
field.
Yeah, but yeah, this is true. It's true.
It's doable.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy that honestly, it's crazy that he made the playoffs. In my opinion, doesn't
A
feel
little bit.
he hasn't top 25. Then
Well, you got the Open.
yeah, it makes you think about how hard it was to miss the Northern Trust back when it was 125. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. He would have.
Like,
So in 20, he would have missed the top 70.
Shocker.
Like he was outside of he was in the 90 range, I think.
That's incredible.
Because I
But
remember
but there were no live players, so Spieth would have missed if he was. There were other players.
true. Well, and that season, I remember kind of following along. I think he made like 5 birdies in 6 holes at TPC Boston, and that got him to like T5 on Friday or something.
Mhm.
And you tweeted like Spieth inside the top 70 for next week. Like, keep it going. We as of now, we're headed to the BMW. And then I
Hmm.
think he probably like snaps one into the bunker that's on one of those holes that you just can't like you just have to chip it out. And then he hits it to 4 feet and misses the putt for par.
Right.
And it just goes downhill from there. But that was that was a wild season. This one's just been so boring, I'll be honest. The game's been so mediocre. Missed a ton of cuts. And it's I don't know. Yeah, not a whole lot of high expectations for this week, but I am playing him in triple double, so that's something.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I think I'll be the only player to use him twice this season.
Well, maybe I'll have to join you. But
I think we should because it could be the last week. Either he plays
you
well
know,
and we could use him
you
next week
know,
too.
it's fitting that we would use a ceremonial pick on a ceremonial.
I mean, it really shows you how seriously these guys take the playoffs. You know, nobody
It
cares.
does. I couldn't give a shit about this week,
I
honestly.
I I think it's cool that all the best players are there, but I don't care. You know, like
But it's all the best players at a mid course.
I like Southwind. I think it gets boned based on the time of year it's played. I think it'd be a great
Yeah,
tournament in May. Like a little PGA tune up. I think that'd be awesome. But
I
because
could
I think
see that.
because the wind would blow. The problem with playing it in mid-August is that it's 100 degrees every day and the wind is not blowing. The south wind is no wind. TPC no TPC no wind.
Mhm.
And it's like that's
Thanks for that. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a birdie
Um.
fest.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I haven't finalized my triple double
I
play
haven't
yet,
either. I'll
but
get the finalists tonight.
but
But
guys like Cantlay, Tom Kim, if you still have a Morikawa somehow, that'd be great. I mean, it's gonna be a birdie fest. It's gonna be 18 to 20
yeah,
under.
yeah.
Uh, and it's tough. No Lucas Glover, so won't see his like all time pants sweats.
Did
Uh,
he miss the playoffs?
I believe so. I believe Mr. Glover
That's
is not in the
insane.
field. Yeah.
Wow. Mr.
So
Scheffler this week off or no?
Mr. Scheffler, Mr. Scheffler is in the field.
Okay.
Because he needs to maintain his 2-shot lead heading into East Lake. Because if Xander
Right.
wins, I think Xander passes him. That might not be true though. Scheffler might have that big of a lead that the
He doesn't.
2,000 points won't matter. Um, but I
Yeah, I
will.
mean, this is honestly just talking here. Like, it's just really tough to get invested right now. My followers aren't as invested. Our listeners aren't as invested. We don't have as many people watching. Um, it's just like everyone sort of moved on to next year, and that stinks because at the end of the day, Speed's not old, but he's getting
He's
making his way up
31.
the 30s leaderboard.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't like to see years get thrown away like this. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
would have been it would have really been nice to have been able to win the century.
yeah. That changes the whole outlook
Because
because
this season truly is forgotten. It's his worst season he's ever had, I think. Um,
uh, Yeah, 2020 I think was worse still. This one just like
That
sucked
puts into
more.
perspective how bad he was playing.
Yeah.
Because this is stunk. He's missed so many cuts.
Yeah. Now 2020
But
was there was so I think what was bad about it was there were just so many bad swings, like out of bounds tee balls, and
mhm.
the triple bogeys that kind of came up. This year it's just a lot more of like what you might call pathetic plays, right? The bogeys with a
Yeah.
85 yard wedge in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah. Well said.
Um, the missed, 5 footers, the three putts from 22 feet, like that kind of stuff is just like it's bad and it's like, oh, but the triple bogeys were heartbreaking because it was right after 3 birdies and 4 holes. Um, but that inherently is just worse golf statistically, I suppose. So um yeah, I mean I'll be tuned in this week. Always got a glimmer of hope. Always, always, always. But uh what is it?
Yeah.
2:05 Thursday and early Friday. Not that early, but um
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I'm not really as um invested as some people want me to be. Again, I've also heard things from people who like I was told months ago from some people I was talking to that Spieth had already decided on surgery. So that also played into the fact that I wasn't as invested. I wouldn't recommend getting invested this week. I'm playing golf tomorrow morning at 7:30, and then whenever I get home, I'll start watching his round. But I'd say this: don't expect anything. But if he's playing well and on Saturday or Sunday he's around that bubble, it'll be fun to watch again and watch him play meaningful golf. So I'm hoping that he at least gets himself like into the projected bubble. You know what I mean?
yeah, that'd be
But
cool. If he was on bubble
yeah,
watch come Saturday, Sunday, it's when you put it in perspective, it probably could be the most fun we've kind of had watching him play golf at a tournament in 8 months.
yeah,
And that kind of again, it taken in another perspective, shines a light on how poor this season has been, and how kind of benign and mundane and whatever other word that you want to use to kind of fill in that blank there. But who knows? It's always a little bit of flash, a little bit of excitement. I bet he birdies before he makes I bet there's a circle before a square on Thursday, and
that's a hot take.
there will there will there will be some thrusting gifts on Twitter before
Oh, nice.
the feeble six on number three, that par five with the water up the right. Uh
Yes. Yes.
but
There will be sixes made all week there in completely different ways.
yeah, it's so good. Wedge from 100 yards, big block with the 3 wood.
Into the trees, tries to get stupid.
Yes. And missed fair.
Classic Spieth hole.
Yeah. It's a beauty, that one. So
It
um
is.
yeah, Southwind's kind of funny. It's got a lot of kind of gimmicks to it, but um 18. We didn't even talk about 18, water up the left. That will most certainly be in play um all week for the speed camp. Probably is he's already thinking about it right now. Um
Most likely.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to add. Uh but I hope you all are enjoying the rest of your summer because it's gone by pretty quick. It's been a quick summer in my book. So
I agree. I
um,
hope everyone's having a good time too, especially since Spieth hasn't been contributing to the summer's positive side. So,
yeah, less time
I
on
hope everyone's
ESPN Plus, more time outside.
correct.
Never hurt anybody.
Yeah, no, it's interesting for sure. Um, how different this summer's been because even when he's playing bad, I still watch so much. But it's so hard for me to get invested when you just know that he's not going out there to win. He's going out there to save his wrist, and that sucks from a fan's perspective. So
Yeah. Do you have any I just realized we haven't talked since the Open. Do you have any Open takes? They could be Spieth related, they could be non-Spieth related.
hmm.
It was a good tournament, I thought. I really liked Troon.
Oh yeah, the ending was so lack. Um, I put a lot of real American currency, embarrassingly, on um, who is that guy? That no name?
Daniel Brown.
Not Tristan, but the other guy.
Brown.
Yeah, I put a lot of real money on him to be third round leader. That double
That
on 15th
yeah,
just stole
that's
soul.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that back nine Saturday was sick.
Yeah. It had everything. I thought the tournament had
Yeah.
everything. It played really hard. You got a good leaderboard. You got, champions and then fun stories as well. And
Yeah. Yeah, I
um,
mean, I definitely would have liked to see someone other than Xander win, but
yeah, he kind of deserved. I think
he did, he did, he
he
did.
he's got a, everybody clowned on Valhalla for not being a proper major, whatever.
Yeah,
This one was a proper major, and Xander
yeah,
stood the test of it all, and in the end, kind of dusted everybody. I know Rose and Horschel, but they both birdied 18 to finish two back. Um,
if you think about it, it was kind of insane. Like he basically shot a score on Sunday that wasn't really out there.
no, yeah, it was the round of the day. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's insane to be in contention like that and shoot the round of the day.
Yeah, at a major like that, that's it. That's what you want. That's what you want out of your guys, and that's why he's. I'm assuming he's the second best player in the world. I haven't checked
Yeah,
the WGR in a while, so
he's got to be.
uh,
Well, he is in the blue rankings. He's certainly
yeah, I
yes.
think he's pretty much in everybody's rankings other than uh well, no, I don't know who would have him second. Maybe some
I
Rory.
have a hot
Still
take.
believe Rory. Let's hear it.
I have a hot take. Um, well, this was out to the open because now I think it's back to Scheffler. But after the open, I thought it was undeniable that Schauffele was the player of the year.
Hmm. That is an interesting take.
Undeniable. I didn't think there was any case for Scheffler.
I think I disagree. I'm gonna pull up Xander's season really quickly.
My entire basis was on the fact that pre-Olympics, I think Scheffler trades his season for Schauffele's a million times out of a million without
interest,
hesitation.
interesting. Interesting.
Scheffler's going to look
Interesting.
back on this and think, how the hell did I not get two majors this year?
Yeah, and I guess from a historical perspective, like Schauffele is closer to the Slam than Scheffler, and
Yep.
obviously winning the Masters is cool, but Scheffler winning the Masters again, I think that's for history purposes. There's still some like really cool part about that, but I think he'd also want to tack on one that's not that and really start building that Slam case. So Xander's only two wins were those majors,
Yeah.
um, which is a great season, and there's a lot of green on his data golf page. I still think Scheffler's 6 wins on paper. Uh, I think that just matters more in a sense. At least in terms of player of the season, because he won a bunch of the signature events. Like these were the events that were supposed to be the best players, and he beat them more consistently. Whose season would I rather have before the Olympics? It's a great question. It's a great question. Rory said Scheffler's, uh, which of course he did because it's the Masters. Um, but I don't know, man. Two majors is it goes back to that question of like how many big time wins is a major worth? And to you, one major is uh
Yeah.
but did it impact your decision making at all that one of Xander's majors was that PGA at Valhalla?
No.
Okay, because I think to me Scheffler's Masters
I mean,
is obviously
obviously,
better.
I think Scheffler was the better player this year.
Right. Hence player of the
But
year.
I guess that's fair. But I do think maybe player of the year and better season are different.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of interpretations for it, right? Like
Yeah.
The MVP debate in whatever
Oh,
sport
the
is
MVP
always
is disastrous. What a horrible award.
it's like how do you define value? Uh and it usually goes to best player, but sometimes it doesn't. I think
I think it should always go to the most better player. I don't think it should ever go to just the best player. If they're the same players to them, fine. But
yeah. But then at that point it's also then kind of hard to gauge like what is value? How do you add
at
up
the end of the
value?
day, I look at it like this: LeBron James' worth to the USA basketball team was inconsequential, and the MVP should have, because if you take you don't win gold, and if you take LeBron off the team, they're in the same spot. So
Yeah, that's a take. Uh I don't know if I have a comment on that. The smile on your face, I think, says it all there. So, because I was gonna go the other way, I think Mr. LeBron should have more MVPs, but regardless, that's for another pod, I think.
yeah,
So, yeah. Any final thoughts? I don't.
I wish. Um, no cut this week, correct?
Yes, 4 days,
Oh,
which could, depending on how you look at it, could be good or bad.
I'd say it's bad. I actually think it's undeniably bad. He's either going to be playing well enough to make the cut anyways, or it's going to be miserable that we have to watch him 2 extra days.
Yeah, but if he's playing well enough, then it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, but if he's playing well enough, he would have made the cut anyways.
Yeah, but there's only 70 guys, so it doesn't really matter. How
Oh
many?
yeah, I'm just saying. I feel like I wish there was a cut.
Uh,
I wish it just ended if he had lost.
yeah.
Yeah, nah. TPC Southwind is interesting. Speaking playoffs before we leave. I played TPC Boston like a week and a half ago. And I was thinking back to that stretch where Spieth played 10, 11, 12, and like 2 over. And Dustin Johnson played it in like 4 under.
Yeah.
Um, and I played it in even. And it was like, oh, that's funny. Because I played it all the way back. So
Yeah.
I was like, it's going, Jordan.
Yeah. That's
The class.
it's funny. I need to get out to a tour course at some point. But no, it's
Yeah.
I
I
wish
played TPC times, but
yeah. I don't TPC Boston wasn't my favorite, I'll be honest. But I liked Liberty
it has
National.
9 really good holes and 9 really just basic golf holes.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Two through 9, and then 17, 18, or 16 through 18 are really good.
yeah.
But that middle portion of the course is just brutal.
Yeah.
Just those basic holes. But
Yeah. Who knows? They won't be returning there next year. Probably not for a little while, but something to think about, I guess. But yeah. So hopefully there's a live pod on Sunday. Chances of that very, very low.
yes, rip the Dan room.
Yes, this will be the last in theory, unless he wins. Uh this will be the last pod in here. So peace out.
Emotional.
I know it is. It's been uh probably 75 pods or so in this room. So uh maybe more than that actually. But yeah, I mean hey, it's crazy how this is 132 or 133, I think. Um and we're, still chugging along. So hopefully
We are.
we get some better content in the new year. We'll have to figure out
We
our
will.
plans for
We'll
the
be back
fall.
to our normal. It was tough for us to do 2 episodes a week when we were finishing T55 every week, but it will
Yes.
be back to our normal schedule come February. We'll have some interviews this off season. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Good things are
go get
coming.
that pod. Needs a revamp as much as Spieth. So it'll be a reset, and we will be
Yeah, it'll be
dialed
a
in.
reset and move. Yeah, well said. Reset and move forward. So,
Thank you.
um, well then, until Sunday, and I guess if you're on Twitter,
Perfect.
we'll see
Hopefully,
you
yeah,
Thursday. See you
I
tomorrow.
hopefully I have my Wi-Fi ready to go.
Yeah, if not, it's not like you'll miss anything great. He'll probably just shoot a
Correct.
61 or whatever. So,
Yeah, on the front.
yeah. Well, okay. Okay. All right. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.